Hello, I just want to warn you that the audio in this episode is a little messed up because we had the microphone a little too fucking close to the laptop speaker because we're not very good at this. It's not that big of a deal, so we didn't want to withhold the episode or anything. I just want to reassure you that the next episode is going to sound a hell of a lot better. I've already edited it. It sounds so good. You guys, it's going to be, oh my god. Okay, see ya. Bye.
Bang! I mean, bam! I mean, we're on a farm.
Hey, Isaac.
The soulful lowing of a cow.
Isaac, can you guess what we're taking and where?
I think we're taking 20 tons of peas to France.
Well, you're almost right.
Oh, is it,
We're taking it to Italy.
Posped?
Verona.
Oh, Posped. Posped? Two gentlemen from... I am stoked about this one, guys. I'm stoked. And I've got to say that in possibly the next episode or possibly the last episode, I may have said some unkind things about, Tumblr. And I want to say that was ill-considered. I did not have time to prepare my argument correctly.
Well, you're just leading up.
Rushing this out the door. I just don't want to leave people in the impression that I'm like an ungrateful lout who doesn't, know joy when it hits him over the head with a 2x4.
Is that a car hiding behind my window? No, I'm in my mirror.
You're just driving through bushes now?
I'm surely not.
Yeah. I saw that image that I showed you just like 5 minutes ago, and it totally just improved my outlook on life because somebody got an OkCupid message from somebody called Too Many Cocks.
Right after they got a text
from their mom. Yeah, no, and that juxtaposition created a kind of sublime warmth.
And you would have never seen it without Tumblr.
I would not have. I would never have seen so many pictures of birds without Tumblr. I would never have known about all my favorite different species of birds, which I can enumerate for you now at great length. Yeah, those.
I think we should do that sometime.
Absolutely.
But while we're making apologies...
Do you know that... Yeah, sorry.
While we're making apologies, I also want to apologize to my friend who said that our videos would probably be improved if we came up with topics. Because as the last or maybe next episode proved, not coming out with topics it's been really just terrible. It absolutely... It derailed the entire episode, and that is why every single word of this episode has been written down beforehand.
Absolutely. I am reading this off of a script which we have taped up to the wall above the computer monitor next to the inexplicable piece of black electrical tape. What?
That's that
is that covering a hole in the wall?
No, it's stuck to my wall. There is actually a fragment of a Subway ad that Monica, my girlfriend, cut out of an ad and gave to me.
You sure did,
because it's my favorite
did mention
color.
That she was your girlfriend.
It's actually purple.
Oh my god,
it's
kind of a midnight purple. It's very almost black. Well, that's a beautiful thing. Monica carries a straight razor around for reasons.
Mostly for the purposes
and
of
one of them is
Subway
ads because she is an artist.
Yes, that's Monica. But anyway, sorry friend, sorry Tumblr.
Sorry everyone. Sorry me. Sorry my body. I'm putting stuff in my body and I'm sorry.
Oh.
I just rolled a little bit of aloe and coconut water onto your
floor. That was just a wonderful reading of that part of the script where you choke.
Yeah, it's JKSLMVMVMVMV brackets choke close brackets.
Just asterisks pop.
Isaac allows a droplet of spittle to depend from his lips, and it lands on Josh's floor with a mournful sigh, which I think I got almost right.
Yeah, we are actors.
We are. I've been in stage productions.
You have?
I mostly haven't said anything when I have. I played a clown once.
The clown was good.
Thank you. I played a Russian.
That was kind of also a clown role.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty. I'm big and I'm floppy, which means that I'm pretty good with clown roles. I like,
You carry yourself well for it. You have that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what adjectives to use to describe.
You're looking for the ballet light-footed grace of the heavier man.
Oh, that is true. That isn't where I was
kind of Marlon Brando.
See, I'm thinking of the time you were in that short play for that improv.
That one where we were like making fun of that terrible
right.
short story.
There was a moment where everyone on stage had to turn around like on point really quickly, and Isaac was standing next to a ladder. Oh God, we stopped recording the video.
We did.
We're back. Wait, okay.
Sorry, what anecdote were you trying to share?
Something's wrong. Oh, that's why. Okay, guys, we're starting over. Sorry.
Crashing the truck.
We are recording again. Okay.
All right, so you're...
We're back.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I just suffered a fatal crash, and other things happened. It's all very mysterious. Who can explain it?
Yep. That was a proud moment for nobody.
So at this point, oh my god, I think my truck's really going to start having problems.
Oh no. All right.
We might have to.
What do you do?
We're aborting this mission.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yes. I've never had to do this before.
All right. Where were we?
Nope, we're still repairing the truck. Service. Repairs are covered by MI4. They really shouldn't be. Repair. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Bye.
False start.
Okay, I think we're still on the job. Oh no, we're not.
Yeah, no. Clearly fucked up that incredibly important delivery of 200 tons of peas.
Okay. Let's just pick the first job we find. It's another excavator. Fuck that. Also, that's a huge one. Oh god. These are giant. That's fine. Tractors. Cancel the current job. Whatever. I don't even know. I don't know if we just... Hi guys. I don't know if we just got back or if you've been listening to us this whole time. But
Welcome to the farm.
Suffice it to say, something happened. But now we're back on the farm. Now we're delivering tractors.
All right. Welcome to what's clearly... Oh, we're in Brno. Where are we going?
We're going to Brno.
Liquilog?
Liquilog. I wonder if that's right. That doesn't look right. Something looks wrong, but we got some nice tractors, and that's what matters. That's what.
I'm sorry. Could you go back to that view again?
Are you enjoying the farm
I'm
noises?
really enjoying the farm noises. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
No more time to waste. Let's
get on the road.
Okay.
So, what were we talking about before that completely fatal mishap?
We were making apologies.
Oh, yeah,
and I think
right.
karma struck us down.
For being too clever. So clever. Being too clever by half.
Yeah, I remember. I was running with this whole episode was written down, gagged, and
Oh, yeah. No.
God clearly
Seems
punished
like
us.
a more innocent time. Really. Back when we could, have a running concept and that would make sense. But now that mojo that we had worked up is dissipated.
Oh God, it really has.
We were in a mojoless state because you wrecked your goddamn truck.
I totally wrecked my truck.
Mm.
I have an excuse.
Yeah, Osnabrück. Okay, back up.
No, why are you overtaking me? I'm clearly merging.
You're really bad at it.
Oh.
Why are you so bad at driving?
I'm not used to this gear shift. It's weird. Look at that gear ratio. I guess I'm supposed to shift as soon as it gets into the yellow? That's a theory.
Yeah, no, that looks reasonable to me.
Okay.
All right, 10th gear. Okay, everybody. Yeah. So I guess now all of our energy is dissipated, and we're gonna have to.
Let's just take a fucking nap.
Say, oh, I'm so sleepy all of a sudden.
Yeah, there's a nice antenna in the
There's
distance.
some hope. Ooh, Utena. Let's talk about Utena.
Oh God, let's.
Pink-haired space girl.
Pink-haired space girl, as I once liked to call it.
Oh yeah. You don't like to call it that anymore? Is that gone with your?
Now that I know what it is.
It seems too light. It seems too.
Oh God, yeah, it's more like.
Come on, go for it. Go for it.
Complete fucking atrocity.
See, this is where we disagree.
Okay, it's not a complete atrocity.
To be fair, you've only seen the first episode and the last 2 episodes. I don't even know why.
In tabletop
we ended up
RPG
doing
terms, Utena is critical failure. Oh Jesus! Okay, everybody, I'm just gonna bypass this mess. It's better than crashing into you. So.
Yep. Good job.
Oh, okay,
Good
Mr.
job.
Truck.
Well done. Oh shit.
Yeah, you're.
Oh shit.
No.
Oh
He
shit.
gets the message.
Yes. Good for him.
Okay.
It's chicken time. And he doesn't swipe our precious tractors. Swipe.
Swipe.
But anyways, why do you think Utena is a critical failure, Josh?
Well, I haven't seen the entire series.
No, you haven't.
The series.
I really kind of showed it to you in the worst possible way.
Sure, but from what I can tell, none of the failures of the series are in any way special. it just fails in the way you'd expect an anime from that period to fail. But I think we should lead off by talking about Utena's successes.
Oh yeah, well clearly.
And
I mean,
you're the better person to explain that. Here, you talk about its successes, and I'll talk about its failures.
Oh, I mean, the successes are so many and varied that I hardly know where to begin. I mean, the art direction is lovely, the framing is lovely, the characters are interesting and well drawn for the most part. It's a story essentially about trauma and overcoming trauma, and the way that it is formally tied into that, it works both on the level of what the anime says, and also how the anime is constructed with these loops and rituals and sort of bargaining to try to remove oneself from these cycles of symbolic imprisonment. That's great.
I basically agree with all of that.
Got some good catchphrases in there. Some
like
kick-ass music. You're
not the only one who can turn into a car.
No, please. We don't talk about that.
Actually, that's not the phrase. The line is, "You think you're the only one who can turn into a car?"
Do 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 do.
That is the music, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, no, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the series.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are all things, and also there are funny jokes in it, which you didn't get to see any of, really. You probably wouldn't think they're particularly funny jokes, though.
I think I saw some jokes in the first episode of the show, and I didn't think they were particularly funny. You're right.
Yeah. But yeah, and like, you know, lesbians.
Is that the same antenna?
Let's talk about Antenna.
No. Okay, let's talk about Utena's failures.
Boy, the fact that the Anthony Utena ship is not called Antenna.
Ooh.
Wow. We're brilliant. That's my catchphrase.
You're brilliant.
But anyway, yeah, the catchphrases include "Smash the world shell." You know, the whole speech.
I've lost my car keys. Where are my car keys?
We don't talk about car keys.
Oh, why don't we? I think.
Okay, well, let's talk about the movie. The movie is a fiasco. The movie is a critical failure. Absolutely, a thing that had a tremendous amount of promise and then squandered it willy-nilly by diving headfirst into its own complex and completely fucking itself over.
It's interesting that you describe it as a show about trauma, because my impression of it, from having seen
not very much
bits of the series and from having seen the movie, is that it's a story about rape culture.
Ah, well, the two are not unrelated.
True.
I would say.
True.
Not all the series. You basically, by viewing it the way you did, you essentially have seen none of the other characters' arcs.
Right.
Which are not all rapey, although some of them are quite rapey. But expand on what you mean by rape culture in this context.
Oh, God.
I know. You did this to yourself.
Well,
you had it coming.
Hey, don't blame the victim. Okay.
I'm so very sorry. Anyway.
Well, the story at the center of the center of the story. The story at the center of the story.
Come on, dude. Breathe.
The story at the center.
You can do this without saying anything terrible. I know you can.
Yes. The center of the story seems to be Anthe's whole deal.
Yes, I would say that Anthe's whole deal is very sexual narrative.
And Anthe's whole deal... Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought I could just get out of this easily, but... Anthe's whole deal is tied in very neatly with the setting.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, Anthe's whole deal is that she got raped. And that she continues to kind of be figuratively raped by the world. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit caught in a loop myself.
This is such a thing that would be in the movie. This specific thing.
I think this is not about to work. Good enough.
Oh, do.
Okay, it's wrong of me to say that Anthe's whole deal is that she got raped, but that is kind of her origin story, in a way. And
I mean, in the movie it is.
Right.
In the show, not so much.
I don't know that much about the differences there.
It's still figuratively worth, I think it's still figuratively worth a supportable thing.
Yeah. And essentially what the setting does is it kind of traps her in the consequences of that event.
Yeah, and in the abusive relationship.
Right. And of course, the the hero Utena, what she decides is like that she's going to kind of work. At first, she decides she's going to kind of work within the system,
Right.
and just try to insulate Anthe from the situation that she's in. But this proves to be kind of futile.
Right.
And what they eventually decide is that they need to just escape the paradigm entirely.
Via revolution.
Yes, via revolution.
See, now this is why the story is, why the series is more is I think interesting and valuable, is because that is a totally coherent reading of it, and yet it is only one of many totally coherent readings of it. It's symbolically very heavily freighted, but the symbols are both precise enough and broadly applicable enough that you can work in a lot of different stories around the same kind of idea about transcending a particular paradigm. And it also, I think, makes a case that the idea of revolution is actually false. That the only revolutions that matter are the quiet internal ones.
Maybe so. I mean, yeah, you're right. The ending of the series definitely embodies that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, because the idea that you can only like move forward and live your life if you manage to overthrow rape culture is,
yeah, I mean,
it's like
that's not that interesting.
It's
more realistic,
right? It's sort of interesting the way that it. I mean,
part
of the reason that it might not be that ending might not be satisfying on a certain level.
But I should say that in neither ending do they actually overthrow rape culture. They try to in the series, but then what they discover is that the internal revolution was the important one.
Yeah.
In the movie, they just symbolically leave.
They do.
To read it generously. For those who don't know, in the movie,
don't say the thing.
I have to. I have to.
All right.
Skip ahead to the time on your screen to avoid. I'm not going to bother putting a time on the screen.
You've seen this movie already if you're a nerd.
And if you're not, you're not about to, because I'm about to fucking ruin it for you.
Come on, Josh. Ruin it before I do.
Yeah. Their escape from the setting, which could be rape culture, is that Utena turns into a car, and Anthe drives her to safety.
Yes.
She turns into a race car, and I checked. Apparently, like the last third of the movie is entirely taken up by this car shit.
Yeah. By weight, it's like 2/3 brilliant, then 1/3 absolutely insane and terrible.
And this car thing is not just bad.
It's a betrayal.
It really is. I mean, like, on the one hand, it's just, what the fuck? Like, the character turned into a car. Like, I enjoyed the character, and now she's a car. And she's gonna be a car for the rest of the movie. And she turns back into a human for, like, the final shot so she can smooch on Anthe, but
yeah.
I don't even know if, like, she says anything past that point.
I don't believe so,
no. So she essentially just becomes a non-character. She just becomes a plot mover, which is, like, the worst thing you can possibly do.
Right. It's
your protagonist.
As story, it symbolically defeats itself at that point.
Yes.
By silencing the protagonist and taking away her agency. Ausfart!
Oh my god, we're going to Ausfart.
Oh, I'm really happy about that.
Right. Not only does it fail structurally, by just completely ruining any investment you made in the main character.
Right.
But it also completely fails symbolically, because to be clear, she's turned into a car kind of against her will.
Against her will, exactly.
It's kind of a violent image.
It's creepy, yeah.
Yeah. And, like, it sounds like my engine's kind of stopped. Or I'm just in way too high of a gear.
There it is. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Like, as a story which is supposed to be about, or at least partly about, escaping rape culture, like, the
predating incidentally the coin. I think I believe that the series predates the widespread usage of that phrase. Yeah.
Interesting. Even so, though, I mean,
yeah, no.
I think that is definitely a concept which is baked in there.
Yeah, no, it's totally a legit reading of the thing. But yeah, no, it's unfortunate. But I think that you might enjoy watching a little bit more of the actual series.
I probably will when I have the patience for it. I cannot handle that kind of pacing.
Yeah, the problem, I mean, in short, because I feel like we probably ought to move on from this. The problem that Josh has with anime, the anime is the '90s anime pacing, which comes from the terrible budget.
It's extremely tell don't show.
Yeah, and that's just how they do. And It's something I grew up on and really used to and don't even notice as a general matter. So.
Right. All right, well, I'm glad we squared that one away.
Yep.
We had a nice, interesting conversation that we totally planned out from the beginning.
Yeah, no, well, it's up on the wall, dude.
Yep.
Right next to these sort of...
Right next to the part where we crash.
Yeah. Oh, don't... Okay. We can't mention the dark purple shape on your wall.
We've already got into that, Isaac.
Yeah, so yeah, right. So definitely, absolutely. Certainly.
Where the fuck are these tractors going?
They're going to Cologne? No, surely not. Oh, they're going to Brno.
Is that a real place?
Yeah.
I don't see like a vowel in that place.
No, which is it's not in a vowel-rich country.
Interesting. Where is
Which
it?
means we must be heading east.
If anyone's wondering, I do not have the going east expansion to this game.
It's in Wimbledon.
It's in Wimbledon.
It's in Wimbledon.
Okay, we're going to Wimbledon.
Well, it's definitely in somewhere Germanic.
Mm.
Definitely in one of them Deutschlands. So. I want to say Austria. Maybe it's Austria. Oh well. Despite that, so Josh.
Yes.
No, I got nothing.
No, neither do I. This.
Oh no! This is the first time this has happened.
Yeah,
and we were doing so well.
We've gone a pretty long time without this happening. I think we can feel fairly good about ourselves.
Yeah, let's pat ourselves in the back for for having come this far. I wanted to talk a little bit about sort of the experience of living in New York.
Yes, that's
since
true.
we do that at the moment.
I guess I was looking for a clean segue into that, but we're never going to find one.
Unless there's a New York cop on it. They do ride the Segway sometimes.
Yeah.
In the park?
I've never seen it personally.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
I get it, though. I didn't even get that that's what you meant at first.
Right. Well, way to deconstruct my clean Segway.
I tried to make a funny face in response, but no one can see my face.
This is not a visual medium right here.
Well, this is totally a visual medium. Look at this.
Yeah, let's talk more about this thing that we're doing. That's always such a fruitful...
Okay. New York City. I mean, what about New York City? What is on your mind about New York City? Do you like living in New York City? I think you have a complicated relationship.
I do have a complicated relationship with it. I mean, on the one hand, this Statue of Liberty, Staten Island Ferry, Co-op City, Katz's and Tiffany's, Central Park, Brooklyn Bridge, the Empire State, where Dylan lived, Coney Island, and Times Square, Rockefeller Center.
That's very well done.
Thank you. On the other hand, it is very difficult. I've actually been feeling kind of, I don't know if this is Stockholm Syndrome setting in or what, but I've been feeling like more happy about living here, despite the fact that our neighborhood essentially is force-feeding you pork and making you sallow and carrotless.
Me personally.
You personally, and me also. I mean, you kind of have to struggle to eat.
That's touching that you're thinking about my dietary concerns before your own.
I'm old. It's over for me already. You've got years ahead of you, Josh. You could flower into one of the great talents of our generation. The actual structural difficulties of keeping oneself safe and well and paying the rent and not going crazy here are difficult. And I don't seek out difficulty generally in life. And sometimes I remember the rush of excitement that I used to get when I visited here, and it's it's so overwhelming. There's all this sort of thing, and I was after you've been living here for a while, you can't really access that anymore because it's just the way that life is. And so you have to go looking a little bit deeper for those things about living here which are actually good.
How many years have you been living here before you started to experience that dissolution of eagerness?
6 months.
6 months, interesting.
Yeah.
Because I've been here for about almost 6 years now, and it still hasn't happened.
I think that you're just a city boy.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, and that's fine. But for me, it's I kind of like being around trees and rocks and rivers.
Asphalt. We're not going there.
We just came from Asphalt. And when I was a young lad, it possibly would have been the same thing. I never really lost my sort of schmoopy love for Chicago when I was living there, and that was more when I was your age.
So it's
so it's possible that Chicago just occupies that place in my heart. And
it's a matter of when you encounter a thing.
Just like Link to the Past, man.
Isaac is telling me to play Link to the Past. You might have already heard this.
Or you might hear it in the future.
We might let's play Link to the Past.
We might let's play Link to the Past. It'd probably be pretty dull.
Yeah, probably. I bet we could just have a solid discussion about Link to the Past based on my experiences playing it on this program.
Yeah, that would probably be the best thing to do. So maybe your homework is to play Link to the Past so that we have that to talk about next time.
Okay, you want to talk about Twilight Princess?
No, I've never played Twilight Princess.
What Zelda games have you played? Have you played any of the 3D ones at all?
I actually honestly interpreted that as, would you like to talk about Twilight Princess? And I'm like, this conversation is taking an unexpected turn.
Maybe.
I'm like, I was just talking to Dunk about 50 Shades of Grey in read his current issues. But
how the fuck does that...
Intellectual property, 50 Shades of Grey started out as a Twilight fanfic.
Oh, true.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've played the original Legend of Zelda. I've played Zelda 2, Link's Awakening. Have you ever played Zelda 2?
I've not played any of the 2D
Fiendishly
Zeldas.
difficult game. But yeah, no, I've played like a little bit of Ocarina at a time, and I found it to be very difficult to play without a controller, so I stopped playing it.
Oh, you're playing it on an emulator?
Yeah.
Crime. You just confessed to a crime on the air.
Oh, well, no, it's because I clearly own a copy of the game. I wouldn't download a game that I didn't own a copy of. Are you doing that?
Yeah, did you know I could do that?
I didn't. How have you not done it?
I'm running out of fuel.
Oh shit, look at that. You really are.
Let me check how much fuel there is coming up. Okay, we're good.
Alright, excellent. Got just that moment of being completely stationary there.
I know.
Moment out of time. It's like you're panicking because you know how hard it is to get up to speed in the middle of a highway.
I think there's a way to adjust the zoom on that map in the lower right.
Adjust the zoom, my darling.
Hey, press
Would
F5.
it be F5?
Yeah, but it is. Oh, cool. Whoa.
Alright.
No. Press it one more time, please.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Quick.
Thank you.
Downshift.
We're gonna hang out in gear 6 on the highway. Oh, I did that way too early.
Yes, you did.
Oh, God, I thought that sign was indicating the exit.
You're just get off the just get off the highway. Just get off.
Drive into
get
the
off.
woods.
Just get off. Now you can downshift.
God, this is a long entrance. You think I should take a rest while I'm at it?
Oh, hey, speaking of Utena quote, like catchphrases, what's with this entrance from the first episode is one of my favorite.
Oh. Yeah, I kind of remember that. It was quite an entrance, too.
It was a serious entrance.
What were we talking about?
I think, well, we were
talking about Zelda,
which is not particularly interesting, I think.
I'm sure it's interesting to somebody.
Yeah, well, I don't. We've played lots of Zelda games, but we have played exactly 0 of the Zelda games that each of us have played.
That's true.
And I will bet dollars to donuts that my Zelda games are better than your Zelda games.
I will say that Wind Waker and Majora's Mask are pretty good in their way.
Yeah, I'm willing to accept that.
It's honestly, it's not a way that I hugely value.
Yeah. The thing about Zelda is that it features elves, essentially. They're
Right.
essentially elves. And elves are the worst. Elves ruin everything they touch.
Isaac is racist against wolves. Elves.
I am not racist against wolves. Wolves are nature's friends. Yep, one snore. It's exactly one snore in life.
Alright, here we go. Man, those P's were an important delivery. It's a shame we kind of didn't get them to their... Oh, fuck! I was doing pretty well this time, too. I hadn't made any mistakes that I can remember.
Yeah. You know, you just were so eager to get out of that parking lot. Oh, night driving.
Oh, shit.
What? Yep. Yay! Alright. Awesome.
You can get fined for not turning those on.
Well, it makes sense to me. You're a menace. You're a tractor-pulling menace.
That's really true. Okay, let me check if the tractor has taken any damage. No! They're coming to arrest me.
Those are Brooklyn cops, ladies and gentlemen.
We live next to a police station. And we live in between a police station and a fire station.
We do. Well, doesn't everybody really?
Hopefully.
We live across the street from a Burger King.
That's a very privileged thing to say.
Equally germane. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, all right, I'm checking myself.
He's literally tightening his jacket.
All
right, let's... Well, I feel like we had an interesting thing we were talking about before we were talking about Zelda.
We were talking about New York before we were talking about Zelda.
Oh, man, there's so much more to say about New York, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Why did you go to Zelda when we could be talking about the Big Apple?
Hey, I think you brought up
City
Zelda
of a Thousand Chums.
in the first place. You brought up Link to the Past.
The Windbreaker, yeah.
Elsewhere. What the hell? That must just mean something. That must mean exit.
It means exit.
Yeah.
We actually discussed this in the previous episode when you told me that it meant exit.
That has been my assumption, but I thought it was disproved earlier, but
no,
I guess not.
Never was.
Oh well. Okay, New York, man.
Yeah,
I like living in New York. I've always been kind of comfortable in a small room. And in fact, I know people who live in smaller rooms than this one that are much more expensive.
You're a monastic gent. I mean, I think that's clear.
Mm.
And I think that you definitely value the endless stream of instant food.
The endless stream of instant food, yes.
That the city provides.
I'm just fond of the diversity of inputs overall.
That's basically it. It's just like if you are feeling parched, you can just sort of go outside and go in a direction and be filled back up with interesting things.
Yeah. I mean, some of my favorite locations are in this city, like Lucy's. Lucy's our favorite bar.
Lucy's Lounge, yeah. This is a plug for Lucy's Lounge. Maybe he will go.
If anyone's in New York,
you
check
should
out
go to Lucy's Lounge and say that
Kiwanis.
Isaac and Josh sent you.
Yeah.
And if it's Henry, he may actually know who you're talking about.
If it's Henry, he'll say, "Oh, those assholes." I think I'm probably just gonna have to bust in on someoe's business. Oh shit, he's letting me through. I've never seen this.
Oh my god. I think it's because you had your nose in the zone.
Yeah.
Your nose was definitely in the zone.
Well, a few people passed me while my nose was in the zone. Why are you moving my mouse? Hey, just grab my mouse and twirl it around, why don't you?
Alright.
Oh god.
Nobody.
Oh, I have to make a turn, Isaac.
That was super entertaining. How did I not do that before now?
Oh gosh. Imagine actually trying to play. Oh fuck! You're gonna destroy this tractor. These tractors.
Oh god, it's like a big red button now. How can I not press it?
I gotta just unplug that thing next time when we're getting started.
See, if I was on your other side, I couldn't reach that, but that would, interfere with the verisimilitude.
I was just shining my high beams in everyone's faces for like 10 minutes.
Yep, well, the police didn't see it, so you're fine.
Everybody.
Dude, that just makes me sad just to watch. See, as a non-driver, you wouldn't know what it, like...
No, I've seen that.
Incredibly
I've been in the
annoying,
passenger seat.
Oh, yeah, you have been in the passenger seat. Who's in the passenger seat now, Josh?
You are.
It's me. It's Isaac.
Why is this ominous?
What?
Why is this ominous? Is this like... This,
No.
this sounds like the lead into somebody turning into a car.
You know what the challenge is with you, Josh, is that I get a riff going, and then you deconstruct the riff before the riff actually becomes a riff. It's like you're so eager to deconstruct the riff that there's no way for a rhythm to be established.
It's the death of a riff.
It's the seat of your pants. It's taking some peas and delivering them to France.
We've got a riff going there.
It's stunk. It's stunk. It's a terrible thing. I'm a man who can dance. You're a man who can sing.
It stinks. It's bad. I don't like it at all.
Where? I am stuck in its crack. It is a moist... Jesus Christ.
Where is that going?
I am stuck in its thrall.
Oh.
Which would have been better if I hadn't used stuck before.
Got some traffic here.
Hey there, would you like to talk about Homestuck?
Let's never talk about Homestuck.
Let's never talk about Star Trek.
I want to talk about Star Trek.
But
We got so close. We're talking about FTL. It's so I resisted comparing it to Star Trek.
What I think is the key to FTL is having a lot of those green guys.
Yeah, definitely. Those green guys are invaluable.
Those
I think
green
they're called
guys
like Zoltans, right?
Yeah, they're amazing. They die too easily, but they're amazing.
It's balance.
Yeah. It's a good game.
I'm gonna be stuck on this traffic forever.
It's okay. I learned on QI today that a pulse of delayed traffic travels backward through a series of cars at 12 miles an hour.
Wow.
It's a wave function.
That's awesome. I bet it travels through these cars even faster than that.
Well, I know, because we're in this sort of tiny fairyland Europe with its truncated space-time.
That and, like, look how much fucking distance these cars are keeping between one another.
And no, everybody is so goddamn polite. This is what real Europe is like.
Yeah, this is.
If you've ever been to real Europe, you know that everybody is really heavily invested in the social contract, which is my favorite thing.
My favorite joke that's ever been made while I was driving across Europe, across England in particular, was we saw a plane coming over the treetops, roughly towards us, and we said, it's health and safety coming to get us for going over the speed limit.
Oh boy, your parents are cut-ups. It's health and safety gone mad, I would say in a British accent if I could do one.
I thought about attempting it.
Okay.
I used to be able to.
You were a child.
It would be embarrassing for me to attempt it.
Okay, regress, Josh.
No.
You're 3.
It'll never happen.
You want some sweets. You're 3 and you want some sweets.
My
no
British
one's going to give you
accent
some
is
sweets
a
if you don't ask for
fucking
some
disaster.
sweets. Come on, dude.
Give me the fucking candy. There's a Hershey's bar. I'm now eyeing my unfinished Hershey's bar.
Oh, you mean this Hershey's bar?
You move my mouse again?
This one right here, Josh?
Yeah.
With the incredibly crinkly wrapper?
You want to feed me a scrum? I'm
yes.
fucking failing
Oh,
to
yes.
shift properly.
Open wide. That was so tender. That was a tender moment.
Yum, yum, yum.
Oh.
Hershey's cookies and cream. Look,
Chewing
I
noses.
fell
Nobody likes
behind the
any-
traffic jam while we were doing all that shit.
Oh, awesome.
Gives me some work to do.
Nobody likes anything better than chewing noses in their ears. That is what I've learned from my years of broadcast journalism.
That microphone is a good 2 feet away from me.
That's
I'm
true.
Sure it won't be too bad.
No, you're absolutely right.
Or maybe I'll just do another cutaway from the chewing noises.
Can you explain to me this something awful forum headline that I'm looking at here?
Which one? My other screen is on a something awful.
Mass Effect 3 Blue Oyster Cult was wrong.
I've never understood that one. I mean, that's definitely referring to the Asari race, which are basically blue space chicks with kind of calamari hair. I don't know. Why am I so
Blue Oyster Cult are famous for the song "Don't Fear the Reaper," so maybe.
The Reapers are the bad guys.
There we go. We put it together. Me with my pop culture knowledge, and you with your pop culture knowledge from more modern times.
Yeah, that is bridging a divide. That reference right there.
Absolutely, it is. I mean, that's one of those songs that is so well known that you might,
Maybe it's not even referring to the Asari at all.
Probably not. It's just the band.
Oh.
It's just the band.
Don't fear the Reaper.
Yeah. You know that song?
No, no. Well,
It
maybe
goes
I do.
do 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 do, and then there's some
That's
more,
familiar.
and then. Baby, don't fear the Reaper. You gotta do whatever. We can be like, come on, baby, and like that. That's my thing that I do now.
It's a diet with starch.
It's the moistened retreat. It's a favor to Marge when I'm losing my seat.
Yeah. We've done better.
Yeah.
We've had some good stuff back.
It feels forced right now.
Yeah.
We're not out walking we're driving under the fake moon, but there are stars, so it feels wrong. We're not walking to the diner, just like 2 young men insouciant in the face of all evil, being like, I'm going to fill my belly with starch, and then I'm going to have regrets.
Dot. Okay.
You're the best. Come on.
Avoid an accident.
You can do this.
You've barely even been in an accident.
Followed that taxi cab. Yeah, you just dinged that tanker on your way out, and I bet he didn't even notice until you were gone.
Dinged him with my truck.
No, that's last. We don't have a title for this one yet.
I haven't been in a serious accident. Want to brainstorm titles?
It's probably
Terrible.
It's probably going to be You're Not the Only One Who Can Turn Into a Truck.
Oh my god. That's a pretty good call.
Yep.
What music do you think is probably playing right now?
Don't Fear the Reaper.
Oh. I'm like
The instrumental version. Karaoke version of Don't Fear the Reaper.
I'm trying to avoid stuff that's really likely to burn me on copyright.
Oh no, you're right. Everything's got to be like at least 150 years old.
Sati was not 150 years old.
About 100 now?
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was much more recent than that.
No, he's turn of the century. He's like 1910s maybe,
Golly.
if I'm not mistaken.
Who was it that I just told some misinformation about when Sati happened?
When did you think Sati happened?
With the 40s.
Oh, no. Yeah. Classical music had gone, like, super weird by that point.
Yeah, you're right. I knew that even. I don't know. I want to talk about classical. You promised us birds.
We could talk about classical. Oh, and I did promise you to talk about, like, hornbills and taracos and shoebills and bee-eaters and honey guides and, you know, all kinds of parrots and storks. I love storks.
What's your favorite kind of bird?
Yeah.
Let's start from the top.
You're going to need to narrow that down. If we're talking about like wading birds, then it's going to be the shoebill. If we're talking about
you don't just have one single favorite bird.
It's going to be taracos. No. Their bird is an incredibly large category. There are different birds for different moods, different birds for different subjects.
Do you have a favorite bird category?
Yeah, it's the fruit eaters. It's those clever dudes who live in the rainforest, parrots, taracos.
And what's your favorite fruit eater?
To look at, it's a taraco. To hang around with, it would probably be a parrotlet or
Okay. Tell me about both of those birds.
They're just birds.
What? They're just
boring old birds. All they do is look pretty and act crazy and go chirp and fly. I mean,
let's talk about
different
Congo
values
grays.
of chirps. African grays.
Yeah, that's it.
African gray parrots. The most famous African gray parrot ever to have lived was named Alex. He was the research subject / pet of a woman whose name, unfortunately, I can't remember. She published several papers on him in the 70s and wrote a book.
Link in the description.
Almost certainly not. After he died, and she was able to teach him not only a large vocabulary, but also clear critical thinking abilities. She would say, Alex, how many keys? She would show him a plate of keys, and he would be like, 4.
Wow.
And she would go, Alex, why is this key different? And he would say, color.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. He could ask for foods that he wanted by name. He could do, he could construct little sentences. It's pretty much the consensus at this point, although researchers tend not to like to talk about pseudoform intelligence, which is an interesting one. I think partially because it's not a field where you can do much in the way of hard data because of the effort that it takes to train up a given subject.
Interesting.
But partially also because I think that it's not something that people are really comfortable with. The idea that, that kind of, if that kind of processing power is present in an animal, it is that small, what does it say about other animals? What does it say about the primacy of our brains and that kind of thing? It's like a weird one to delve into.
I think that would really attract researchers.
You would think so. I don't know why more work isn't done with it. Regardless, this dude, I think that the basic thing at this point is that African greys are essentially ripe toddlers. They get to be about as smart as a 4-year-old, and then they live for like 60 years.
60 years.
So, which is why, incidentally, that having African gray as a parrot as a pet is like a hell of a daunting thing, because you're going to have a toddler you're going to live with for a large portion of your life, maybe 40 years rather than 60 years, and they do die. But if they live healthily in captivity, they can live for decades.
If you get that thing when you're 30, you're going to live for the rest of your fucking life.
Yeah. And so, like, parrots are scary. Every animal, if neglected, will start to get a little nuts. But parrots, the bar for neglected for parrots, because they are smart and because they have this level of intellectual curiosity about stuff around them, is very low. If you just leave a parrot in a cage and don't make sure to stimulate it on a daily basis, it'll start self-harming.
Cool.
Feather plucking, it'll start basically just plucking itself bald, and it'll develop weird neurotic, compulsive, repetitive behaviors, and it'll yeah. They go crazy very much in the same way that humans do, which is another interesting thing about how brains work and how brains are brains. It's just a matter of the sort of level of complexity involved. And so, one of the reasons why I don't own a pet bird because it's a little bit of a freaky thing. The littler ones, like the ones whose brains are actually like teensy-tiny sized, are less neurotic like that. But you still don't want to leave them alone. You still don't want to, get tired of them because they will just go berserk. You can also just like get them another parrot to play with, and that'll usually do it. But then you have 2 parrots.
And that has its drawbacks.
Yeah. I mean, they're naturally they're flock animals. They're naturally social, and so like it's a weird thing to keep one in a cage. Just as a general matter, I feel weird about it, which is why I don't have a bird, even though I very much want to have one.
That was a close call.
That and Evan, our roommate, is not so sold on the idea because he fears that it will make noise all the time.
He's probably not wrong.
Yep, he's not wrong. It's really...
Imagine if there was a parrot in the other room in the background of this video.
It would make the video like 200% more winsome and charming. What if the parrot was like, clambering on me and like sticking its beak in my face and like, nibbling on my ear?
We need to get like a scare cam.
Imagine if you knew my name. Imagine.
Isaac.
Yeah.
I guess he would sound exactly like you though.
He would.
Isaac.
Isaac.
Oh man.
Pretty bird. Pretty.
I feel like
a
a bird who sounds just like you would kind of be fulfilling a certain destiny of yours.
They got tiny larynxes, though. It's not going to sound like, they can't really do the dull monotone.
It would sound a bit like you. I mean, I've seen these birds. They sound like they're runners.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think it's got to happen at some point, right? I mean, when my inevitable destiny arrives and I'm, like, so neurotic that I'm no longer able to work and become a shut-in, living off whatever remains of the social safety net by the time
you'll be raising your parent and watching these videos.
Yeah, and I'll be like, oh my god, I didn't appreciate what I had. Well, I wish that Josh hadn't gone off to Alaska to capture his Hemingway-esque, manliness and become an ice fisherman.
That's the most unlikely outcome.
I wish that Josh hadn't married the Contessa. He's so cold to me now.
The Contessa.
Yeah, the Contessa. For the jewels.
Oh, yes, I see.
It was a marriage of convenience rather than a marriage of love, but
the state demanded it.
The state did demand it, but at least now you've created an alliance between Brooklyn and Queens.
The city-states.
The warring fiefs. Yeah.
It's an interesting future. We're engaging in some real world building here.
Yeah, no. It's an odd future. Wolfgang killed them all.
Music reference.
Yeah, I'm full of them. I love those little gremlin high tension wire towers. They're so pretty.
Gremlin.
Yeah, look, he's got a little face.
Oh, you're right. Legs. Little sharp teeth.
Yeah.
Oh
no,
my
he's
God.
The cutest.
That's awesome.
And he's got his little buddies who he's tied to forever.
It's the same guy. It's like those lines indicate motion.
Oh, right, because time is so weird in this universe. That makes a whole lot of sense.
Time is pretty fucking weird in Europe.
Time is weird in Europe. I think that's that could be the title, honestly.
Time is yeah. What was the other option?
You're not the only one who can turn into a truck.
That's much better.
Yep, it is.
You think you're the only one? You can turn into a truck?
It's not pithy though. It's not pithy like Schubert.
Schubert is
Speaking of classical music.
Yeah,
no. Okay, hey, classical music. So here's the kind of classical music I like, ladies and gentlemen.
This is
odds and ends.
This is 2 topics in a row that you're going to dominate.
Show you on my face. Oh, well, maybe you should suggest a topic that you could dominate, Josh.
You know what's interesting?
What?
Video games are interesting.
Lordy Bub, we've already... we talked about Half-Life for most of the...
I haven't given the abstract about why video games are interesting.
Oh, that wasn't even this episode.
Yeah, that was last episode.
That was last episode, or possibly the next
I don't think
episode.
we talked a little bit about Zelda in this episode, but we didn't really.
There's nothing to talk about.
When it comes to Zelda?
Yeah, except... Oh, I was going to go into like a hateful rant about elves. I was going to say that the 8-bit ones are the least elfy of them because the characters are tiny and don't have personalities, and thus their inherent elfiness doesn't come out. And this, I am filled with less hate.
Yeah,
it's much less. There's much less like wacky attempts at humor in the original ones, just because there wasn't the processing power for it.
There's very little of that.
The NES didn't really support humor.
That's really not something that the new ones are characterized by.
And it just feels too It feels like everybody has a personality. That's generally my problem
Everybody
with.
does have a personality.
That's generally my
And
problem with
oftentimes they
adaptations
are
of
cookie cutter personalities.
Yeah, no. I mean, I really kind of resented moving from 16-bit up with these franchises because I really like to be able to pretend that these, once again, that these critters were ciphers,
Yeah.
who either didn't have much of a personality or were just me in pants. Because I never wore pants as a child. Like, you know, it's terrible that they've given Samus a voice. Because women should not have voices.
She's played by Jennifer Hale in Metro Prime. I don't know who she was played as in the one where she talks, but that wasn't developed by Nintendo, to be fair.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's just the, you know...
No one liked that.
She was a better character when I was making her up.
No one liked Other M.
And she's a better... And, like, Sonic was much better when I couldn't hear his voice. And...
Oh man, but he had attitude from the beginning.
He did have attitude from the beginning. He went like, that's the sound effect it makes when you waggle your finger.
A video game blogger who I like, who runs a video series called Errant Signal. He raised the point that Sonic the Hedgehog is and has always been Poochie.
That's absolutely true. Where to Mario and Luigi as Itchy and Scratchy, I guess.
Yeah, more or less. He was always like, look how much cooler Sega is.
Well, the thing is that it was possible to ignore that, you know?
Maybe.
With the original Sonic games, which were actually quite fun to play.
I hear you don't like them.
Have you ever played them on a Sega? On a Genesis?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. I still think they're fun.
I find that this is also...
I went really, really fast, and then I ran into something that I couldn't see because I was going really, really fast, so I lost all my rings.
All my momentum just kind of came to a complete halt. Like, and not even when you're not done, you just bump into something and just stop.
Yep.
That's
Ting,
it.
and explode.
But, you know, frankly, most of the levels aren't about going fast.
Hey, is that Burnout up there? No, that's
This is, to further the point raised by Mr. Errant Signal, most of the levels are not about going fast in that game. Like, in fact, mostly it's about pushing blocks and doing, like, timing events on moving platforms with these, like, kind of really, really inertia-heavy platforming physics. And it's actually quite slow.
Yeah, no.
And he raised the point that the Mario levels actually hurry you with a clock that counts down, whereas Sonic has a clock that just ticks up infinitely, waiting for you patiently.
You know, he's right.
He is right.
Maybe the only reason I like them is because I never got to play them when I was a kid.
Maybe.
Maybe
It was the same with me. I owned a Nintendo console, and I was kind of...
Yeah.
At the time, I was pretty upset that I didn't get to play Sonic. But when I finally did, at an advanced age, I was like, oh, this kind of sucks.
Maybe that is the secret, is that Sonic was never good.
Maybe.
And so those people, those terrible people, just built their lives around this hollow shell.
Yeah, the Sonic family.
The idea of extremeness, the idea of extremity has corrupted them.
The idea of extremity. That's what characterizes Sonic. Oh
yeah.
My god, I just... That went worse. What's happening right now?
You're in a pile up.
What? Oh, wrong button. Oh my god! I'm so sorry.
Dude, that was extreme.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to hurt him more. I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord.
Wow. This was going relatively well. I didn't see him at all. Where did he come from? Did
he was in your blind spot.
Oh my god.
He was in your blind spot. And then you just crushed him like a sardine. Oh, my god. This is cool, but I think this is the first time we've had to navigate our way through like a major urban center.
Yeah.
In the pursuit of one of these dolls, and I think that it definitely has a interesting little layer to it. He said
a bit of extremity.
A bit of extremity, but yeah, no, the lie of extremity.
The lie of extremity.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, the lie of. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, is what has cursed those Sonic fans.
Definitely. Although Sonic Generations actually a pretty good game.
That is so beside the point.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not that interested in Sonic.
No. What were we talking about before? Oh yeah, the game generations.
Just
and
continuing
the hollow shell becomes a slightly maybe kind of fleshed out character who makes like distressing noises. Link makes distressing noises in the later games. I don't like it.
You know what's clever about Half-Life?
And we come full circle to the episode that you may already have heard or may still... I think this one should be episode 2, honestly. I think this is the one.
All right.
But yeah, no, what were you saying?
What's clever about Half-Life, just in terms of the noise the character makes, is that mostly the hazard suit does the talking. Stuff like major lacerations detected.
Major lacerations detected.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Hazardous radiation levels detected.
User death imminent.
Well, that's the thing about it, is that her monotone doesn't change, but there's an urgency to her voice. It's user death imminent.
It is more urgent when she says that.
It's a lovely little piece of acting.
Yeah.
It is no accident that studio produced Gladys.
And meanwhile,
the ne plus ultra of that particular thing.
The only distressing sound Gordon Freeman himself makes is when you take fall damage. He goes.
Oxygen escapes him, but he refuses to involve his vocal cords.
Yeah.
The silent protag. I'm all for the silent protag.
Yeah.
But maybe just the way I was raised, but
yeah, exactly. It helps him be a cipher. It is very true.
But it's like video games shouldn't just be a story about some characters, because that's what other forms are for.
Well, I mean, video games...
The immersive aspect is definitely part of the experience, man.
Certainly, but the fact is that video games can be stories. In fact, they can be linear stories.
I don't know what kind of voice I was just making. Yeah, no, I like some games that are linear stories.
Yeah.
But even the ones that are linear stories, I tend to like the ones where I don't know who I am, or rather I can be anyone who I am being.
I also enjoy it when they make gentle suggestions about who you are.
Yeah, that's true.
That kind of lets you, it gives you a framework to work with, but you can kind of, bring some interpretation to it.
Yeah, no. I mean, the way that people react to Gordon Freeman really suggests that he's the life of the fucking party.
I know.
He's a heavy drinker, a carouser, a lover of women.
That's interesting. That's not my interpretation of him.
No, it's not my interpretation of him at all. It's just that everybody's like, Gordon Freeman!
Oh, you mean in the game?
Gordon Freeman! Yeah, Gordon Freeman.
In the first game, yeah, they treat you as like the lackey, essentially.
Yeah, they do, but I don't know. It's funny. You can pretty much read into anything and into it still.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons why it's so nice.
One of the things that works about Dishonored, which is another game with it mostly as a silent protagonist, you get to make some dialogue choices, but even then it's just one sentence and you don't even hear it acted. That game does not have a good story, but it does let you. It does a very good job of letting you kind of figure out how your character feels about what he's doing.
Cool. Is it one of those games where you can be a good guy or a bad guy?
Essentially. And
morality systems, I think that's called.
Right. It very almost had a very good morality system, but it fails in the end.
Like all morality systems will.
Yeah.
Because it's a dumb idea.
Yeah, like...
It's the very D&D way of looking at a universe, and if you're doing a D&D story, that's fine.
For the better part of the game, it just feels very gray. Like, you can do things, and they'll have consequences, but those consequences really just tonally affect things. Like, if you're very violent, then the final mission takes place in, like, a violent storm, and, like, the guy who blows you around doesn't like you. And if he really hates you, like, he'll actually fire a flare to warn the enemies that you are coming, which is kind of badass. But then, like, if you were good, when the ending rolls around, in the end, there are 3 endings to the game. One is that you were good and you saved the princess, and she inherits the empire, and everything is just wonderful. She cures the plague, and the entire setting is basically betrayed. The bad ending is a tiny bit better. It's like you save the empress, but you're an evil guy and a bad example, and she kind of mismanages the empire, and everything kind of remains being as shitty as it has always been.
Oh, cool. So her entire personality is determined by...
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously lame. But the best ending, actually, even though it's... I say the best ending, I don't mean to indicate that it's a perfect ending in every way.
All right.
But the best ending is where you take the high chaos path.
Okay.
And then the guy you're saving the princess from, like, you're given the opportunity to save her when he is like holding her hostage over a precipice.
Oh, precipices.
Yes, and
the end had come, and this was it. He dropped her in the flaming pit.
And what he says then is basically, "You're not really gonna save her, are you, Corvo? Like, that's not what you're about."
It's like, yeah, I'm about slaughter.
Right, frankly, and the best ending, or at least the most interesting ending, is for you to kind of just let him jump off the cliff with the Empress.
Dang.
I mean, yeah, obviously that it's not. It's a little bit of an anticlimax. I'll grant you that, and it doesn't
But
treat
at least
the
it's true to the story.
It is true to the story. That's very true, and like the ending that way is that Corvo just leaves town and kind of spends his life as a vagabond. But whatever, that doesn't matter. It's just the most dramatically unexpected one. You know what I mean? It doesn't treat the Empress very well at all, but neither do any of the endings. So, frankly, that's kind of a wash. What's really interesting about Dishonored, though, is the way it handles space. Space is just very open in that game, and the consequences of your actions ripple through the environment in a way which feels very real.
Oh, well, here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. I thought we were going to Brno. Why are we in Wien?
We're in Wien?
Yeah.
Are you sure Brno's a place? Are you sure this...
Yeah, I'm incredibly sure that Brno is a place.
We're in Wien. Why are you fucking... Don't do that.
Oh, right, sorry. Thought that I could maybe use the internet to look up where Brno is.
Oh my god, you're actually like trying to interact with my other screen. If only we could make that possible.
There's a mouse in front of it.
Yeah, there totally is, but if you click on that, I lose control of the game.
Alright. That's actually a relatively sense-making area for us to be delivering this piece of equipment to.
Yeah.
I approve randomly generated game sprites. I mean, tiles. I mean,
it's not random.
applications.
It's all handmade.
Oh. I meant randomly generated quests.
Fair enough. I am a
Quests.
bit confused about the fact that we're not in Brno.
Yeah, that is really confusing.
Let's check the map here. No, we're in Brno.
Yeah, except it was
there was a sign.
There was definitely a sign that said
Wien is that way. That's why.
Oh, we're just on the road to Wien.
Mystery solved.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's really anyone's guess which episode we just filmed is more of a disaster.
Are you kidding me? This one was fantabulous.
Except for the disaster which literally occurred.
Oh yeah, right. Oh, I did that thing where I jumped all over your biz.
Yeah. That's okay.
I apologize. In return, you should do an amazing parking job.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up.
This is going to be tricky. I mean, the easiest thing to do would be to actually drive into the road. So maybe I'll just do that.
All right, cool. Cool. Stick your nose out.
Excuse me, everybody. Gotta park the truck. Gotta grease the pedal over here. Hey, stop! Whoa. Okay. That guy really had to go. Okay, here we go. Jeep. Let's see.
Oh, wait a minute. I can see us.
I can see me.
Wait, Josh, where am I, Josh?
You're invisible.
This
didn't go well at all.
I don't remember, Josh. When did I get in this truck, Josh? How long have I been in this truck, Josh? Josh, I died.
Hold on, I'm parking the truck.
What are you doing? I'm parking the truck. That's terrible. First of all, I'm a ghost, and second of all, you're doing exactly the opposite of what you should be doing.
I'm just starting over. Okay, parking truck.
This is going to be the part of the episode that everybody is just going to dread.
Oh, no. It would have been so much better if I hadn't tried to park the truck.
We're going to get it barely acceptable.
Oh, no, this was way better than the first episode as far as our employers are concerned. Except for the fact that we'll literally have to abandon another mission. Okay, I don't know how to park this truck.
Press E to stop.
I have to drive closer first. At a right angle. Look at that, that's pretty cool. Good work.
Good work. We're hanging. Yeah. I feel good about that one.
I feel like that was fairly acceptable.
Yeah.
I'm almost level 12. Okay, everybody.
Everybody's going to be able to watch us. Oh, yeah.
We're not done yet.
Bye.
Bye.